Before we get rolling on today's video here, I just wanted to take a second and introduce you to the newest member of our family. This is my daughter, Amelia. She was born last week. Her and mommy are doing very well. Can't wait to bring her on more here on the channel like I have my son, and we can all watch her grow together. So thank you so much for all of you that have already congratulated us. It's been just an incredible experience. But now I'm going to send her back up to her mom, and we're going to start the video. What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the new pomade from SHEHvoo. This thing is very cool. I'm super excited to be talking to you about it. This is not going to be a typical review per se. It's not going to be a review. Actually, it's just going to be me kind of giving you a rundown of the product, what it is, you know, the stuff behind it, how it works, things like that. And the reason for that is because I made it. I made this pomade. I mean, I'm still kind of... I made it. I went through the whole process of making it, and I'm still kind of coming to terms with the fact that I even did this, to be honest. The story behind it is a very short one. A couple of months back, I received an incredible phone call from the guys over at SHEHvoo, Dre and David, with a challenge. That challenge being to create the next pomade for the SHEHvoo lineup. My first thought, honestly, was, holy crap, if I screw this up, it's going to be so embarrassing. It's going to be so embarrassing. But, you know, I had to squash that. Had to squash that down hard and just rise to the occasion, you know, challenge accepted. And let me tell you, rise I did. This challenge was accepted. And like the black-footed cat that has a whopping 60% average success rate when hunting, I mean, the more you know, right? It's a little tidbit. I mean, it's really insane, actually, if you think about it. Like a full-grown actual lion has an average of around 25% for comparison. So the black-footed cat, 60%? Unbelievable. And like that incredibly efficient predator, I hunted down this formula. And I'm not going to say it was easy. I mean, at times it tried to hide from me. It really did. I am not afraid at all to describe this as a worthy adversary, but in the end, I got what I came for. Oh yes, I sure did. You see, when I formulate stuff, I tend to get a bit obsessive over it, you know, in case that wasn't written on my forehead in Sharpie. I get a little bit obsessive about it. I have always kind of been like that my whole life. You know, when I love doing something, you know, I'm trying to achieve a goal, I kind of obsess over it. It kind of drives me a little crazy until I get it done. And I think this one here took me about 20, 25 batches or so to get this one made. You know, that was partially because there were little things that I was being just overly picky about. Like I really wanted, for some reason, like when we were having the conversations about what this should look like, I pictured in my mind this like specific consistency, this just very specific consistency. Like it was soft, creamy, slightly thick, but not too thick and not too creamy either. Just like perfectly dead center. And I just obsessed over this consistency, and I batch after batch after batch, I threw it out. Even if it worked good, even if it just, you know, it was styled great, every other note was hit except that consistency went in the trash. I hunted this thing down. You know, of course, I took notes from things Dre and David wanted, you know, because this had to be a vision of all of us. You know, it wasn't just me. You know, they wanted specific things in there as well. And in the end, I think we finalized something that is a great blend of both the homebrewed community and the salon style product community, something that truly bridges the gap and allows people from both sides to kind of cross over and have a drink with each other while having killer hairstyles while doing it. Now, you see, I love homebrewed pomades. I'm a homebrewer myself. You know, I have the Dauntless lineup. And on top of that, I've reviewed and tested probably dozens, you know, probably close to 50 or 80 at least unorthodox water-based pomades. And I do love them very much, you know, but we have to be honest here. Sometimes there has been holes in those types of products, little pitfalls that they have. You know, endurance is one. Hold is another. I mean, we all can think of an unorthodox water-based pomade that has had problems in those two areas, right? So that was something that I was going to tackle right away. This is something that I have experience in doing, obviously, because I tackled it with my Dauntless lineup. And so I already knew for a fact that my approach needed to be very specific. You know, the same approach that I did with the Dauntless lineup, I needed to take that same approach here. Now, let me toss this out first of all, because I know this is going to be a big question. No, I did not use or reuse or even like retweak any of the existing Dauntless formulas. This is something like SHEHvoo would not have accepted that anyway. So this is something that I had to do straight from scratch. Now, you will notice if you look at the ingredients that a lot of the ingredients in this pomade is stuff that I use in the Dauntless lineup. But that doesn't mean anything. You can have two products that have the exact same ingredients and be totally different products. Because it comes down to the ratios used. You know, it comes down to how much water you use, how much wax, how much shea butter. In both products, you can have the same thing, have different ratios, totally different outcomes. Obviously, they're like I make an unorthodox water-based pomade for Dauntless, and this is an unorthodox water-based pomade, so some comparisons can be made. However, we had specific goals for both. I had specific goals for the Dauntless one. We had specific goals for this one. And that in itself makes them two very different products. With the Dauntless pomade, for example, the emphasis really was on having that health in conjunction with styling. I wanted it to heal and repair your hair while it sat in your hair styling it. That's why that one has like over a dozen healthy oils in it. It's got a ton. This one here, on the other hand, the idea was to have health, right? Because we always want hair to be healthy. We don't want to contribute to anything negatively to the hair. It needs to be healthy. But the emphasis was more a bit on styling, and health was like number two. It wasn't like a huge main focus, but it was absolutely had to be there. So the emphasis wasn't so much on health as it was with the Dauntless pomade. It was more on styling ability, styles produced, longevity or endurance, actual presentable hold. And then on top of all of that, we have a section of health using a lot less oils than I used in the other one, and we're going to go through that here in a second. But that's kind of a brief description of the goals for what we had for this project. First off though, this pomade is water-based. It's the first ingredient. It's an unorthodox water-based pomade, which for those that might not have heard of that before, unorthodox water-based pomade means it's a water-based pomade that does not harden up like gel. This is a term that we use in the homebrewing community. We have orthodox water-based pomades or gel types. Those are like those gel pomades. We have unorthodox water-based pomades, which are the same thing, except they do not harden up in the hair. So this will not harden up in the hair when you style with it. That also means that water is the highest used ingredient. If you look on the label here, water is the first ingredient because there is the most of that in this formula. There's a ton of water in this one. This helps with a number of different things, you know, like scoop consistency. It helps with washout too. So there's a number of different reasons for having that water in there, but it is a water-based pomade. That's the first thing I wanted to describe for the ingredients. The second thing here is the hold, and that hold comes from the blend of waxes that I use to create that nice firm to heavy hold. And to achieve that, I used a blend of 3 waxes: beeswax, candelilla wax, and microcrystalline wax. And to set the bar for that hold, we have that beeswax. That one is really the thing that gives you the most strength. It's the most hold. It's this kind of the nice sticky wax of the 3. That candelilla wax kind of comes in as a spotter for the beeswax, a second support, if you will. And then you bring in that micro wax, which has a really high melt point and a nice tacky, sticky presence. So it holds up all day, even in tough weather. So here we have this nice blend of waxes making that great firm hold. But really, if we left it there, we'd be kind of stuck because we'd have no way of getting it through the hair. You know, it'd be like, you know, trying to rub a candle through your hair pretty much. It's not going to spread. So that's where we need the oils, which along with the water help you spread that crazy great hold all through your hair, while also doubling as conditioning and health nutrients as well. So you can use this as much as you want and never worry about your hair getting damaged. Now, the first oil that I want to talk about here for this formula was shea butter. It's a butter technically, yes, but it's also classified as an oil. And it's an amazing one at that. You know, it gives a lot to the hair. It's just fantastic. It makes your hair feel amazing. It's also just really great to have on hand for your skin. If you ever have any, you can rub it on dry skin. It's just an all-around amazing feeling substance. I love shea butter so much. We also have argan oil. Everybody loves argan oil. Who doesn't love argan oil? Honestly, it's like just magic for your hair. You know, it's a hair's best friend, actually, is argan oil. It has so many uses. Heat protectant, naturally. I don't really use heat protectant, but you can use it for that. It also makes your hair feel just flat out amazing, so why the heck wouldn't we use argan oil is the better question. We also have grapeseed oil in there, which is a nice lightweight oil that makes your hair feel really good and not greasy. That's a big thing. You know, you want shine, but you don't really want, you know, greasiness. And a lot of times I've also found that if something's too greasy, it can actually eat through your hold a little bit. So I wanted to stay away as much as I could from greasy feeling oils. And then lastly, we have a very, very cool oil that we use specifically for this project. I've not used this oil in any other product that I've ever formulated. It's called a baobab. I still don't know how to fully say it correctly. B-A-O-B-A-B. Baobab oil. Again, I'm butchering that, but this is the one that we really hunted down. We wanted an oil that kind of stood out. You know, it really stood on its own as something that provides really excellent benefits. And this one comes from Africa. I believe it's Africa. And the tree that it actually comes from, they refer to it as the tree of life. I mean, that just sounds amazing. We're going to put some tree of life oil in your hair. You know, it's got a lot of uses too. You can Google baobab oil and just see all the amazing uses that it has. But for the hair specifically, it can repair and protect against dry, itchy scalp, and it can actually moisturize your dry hair and strengthen your weak or brittle hair. So it just makes it feel all around amazing. So now you got that baobab, you got that argan oil working in there, you have some shea butter, and you have some grapeseed oil. I mean, this is all we needed. I mean, we really didn't need to go any further than that. I mean, those 4 oils right there just take care of everything as far as the health is concerned. And on top of that, it helps us come up with, you know, a killer consistency, that one that I was telling you that I was really looking for, that allows you to, you know, scoop it out, make it slick enough to break down, and then spread it all through your hair in the fashion that a pomade should. You know, a pomade really should be sticky so that you can get the hair to stack nicely together and create, you know, a volumized style like this. I mean, this is how you get like the pompadours and things like that. You have that nice sticky product that allows you to really build volume and stack hair on top of each other to create height and defined styles. You know, this one here you can apply to damp hair or dry hair. You can, it's been tested on both. You can do whatever you feel like. If you're a damp hair styler, dry hair styler like me, I did this on dry hair. I'm going to show you in a second. I love it on both. Honestly, it works very well. This is something obviously we had to do, and it has that all-day endurance that you should come to expect from products these days. I mean, who wants their products really to crap out after like 4 hours? I mean, who's got time for that? Because it also has a firm hold though, it does have some tack to it. I don't personally think the tack is over the top. That's just me. You know, you can't have, honestly, this level of hold, firm to heavy, without having some tack in there. But for transparency's sake, I did want to mention that this is a little bit of a tacky product. So now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in my hair and give you guys kind of a synopsis on what we ended up with here. In the end, we ended up with a firm to heavy hold that's got a killer consistency to it, that's easy to spread around the hands, break down in the hands, and apply to the hair. It's slick enough to sculpt through your hair with a comb or even with your fingers. It's sticky enough to get the hair to stick together and build that volume. You can see I'm doing that here. It's just so easy to style with. This is something that was extremely important to me. You can apply it to damp hair or dry hair. I'm doing it on dry hair, obviously, right here, and it is slick enough for dry hair. It's also got enough hold for damp hair too, because that's very important. And you can see here that using my comb is effortless. It doesn't get caught up in the comb. It just creates a nicely sculpted, a nice look, really good hold. It's got that medium shine in there too, so it's not too much shine, that way it looks over the top, but it's not like, you know, under shine either, because I think a pomade should have a little bit of shine in there, honestly. So I think it's right there in the medium realm. I think it's got some good shine to it. You can see the final style that I'm able to produce with it is nicely put together. The hold is adequate. Nothing's falling. Nothing's out of place. And in my opinion, obviously I'm the one who made it, so you can take it for what you will. In my opinion, this looks very awesome. And you can see how my hair is 8 hours later. This is at the end of the day, going in and out of the house. It's freezing outside, but I'm running around changing diapers, holding the baby, picking her up, putting her down, keeping up with my 4-year-old too, so I am moving around quite a bit, and as you can see for yourself, it held up. Again, this was something we specifically wanted. I didn't think anybody has any time for a product that doesn't hold up at least 8 hours or more. The scent, though, moving on before I get completely off track, the scent that we went with here is a custom blend for this product that Dre and I call Citrus Boost. It's an extremely addicting scent. It has notes of blood orange, I believe, you know, that citrusy note in there, and then it's got cactus and a little sea salt in there. It's just, oh, it's so addicting, you know, but it's balanced really nicely, so it's really pleasing to my nose, and it's not overbearing. You know, I have that scent allergy, so this is something that was important to me, but, you know, more importantly, this is something that they wanted to do to please their customers. You know, it's got to smell great if it's a SHEHvoo product. Now, let's talk size and price. Since this is a homebrewed product, I did suggest to them that it be 4 ounces, a 4-ounce jar. This is how it's done traditionally in the homebrewed community. You know, I love offering 4 ounces of product in my personal line, and I'm really glad that the SHEHvoo guys took my advice on this and got this nice big jar, because their clay is not 4 ounces. So this thing, it's a nice big jar that you guys that buy homebrewed usually come to expect. You know, it's got a good amount of product in it. It's filled, you know, it's not like half full. You know, there's a good amount of product in here, and they are offering this on their site for $22.99, but you can use my discount code for SHEHvoo to save some money on this jar and actually anything else on the SHEHvoo site. I recommend all their products to you guys. I've done a lot of videos on them in the past, so if you want to pick this up and something else, you can use my discount code. It's in the description of every single video. I highly suggest you use that and save some money on your order if you're interested in checking this out. That is pretty much it on this one, though. If you have any further questions about this pomade, just throw it in the comment section there, and I'll get back to you guys right away. Make sure you also like this video for me as well, and if you haven't yet subscribed, I highly encourage you to do so. I got a lot of cool stuff coming out in the next couple of weeks, couple of months. I got a lot of stuff planned for this year, actually. So hit that subscribe button, turn the bell icon on, join me here on the channel. I really appreciate that in advance. I will also be giving away a few of these and my new Dauntless texture powder. I'll be giving away a couple of each on my Instagram page. Make sure you follow me there and look out for that giveaway. Thanks so much for checking this out, and a big thank you to SHEHvoo for working with me to create this awesome product. I sincerely hope you all love it as much as I do. Thank you very much once again. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.